Damn, girls would really rather date an ogre than a short king. Isn't that crazy? Once upon a time, in a faraway swamp, a grumpy ogre named Shrek was living a peaceful life until a bunch of annoying fairy tale creatures invaded his home. Desperate to reclaim his privacy, Shrek made a deal with the devious Lord Farquaad to rescue the beautiful Princess Fiona from a tower guarded by a fire-breathing dragon. With the help of a talkative donkey, Shrek set off on an adventure filled with hilarious mishaps and pop culture references. Along the way, he discovered that Fiona had a secret of her own, one that would change their lives forever. I like this plot purely because it subverts fairy tale tropes. It's not the Prince Charming who sets out to get the girl. The man who saves her doesn't even want her to begin with, and is an ogre, a being you would expect to be the bad guy. The guy who wants to marry her is purely doing it to be king, and to find a cool way to humanize the great fairy tale lore we have all seen. Like bro, Geppetto sold off Pinocchio. That's messed up, but it's something that humans would do. It's dark, but it's human. On their journey, Shrek and Donkey help us explore some great themes. Layers. One of the great themes of this movie is set up by a simple conversation between Donkey and Shrek, when he hilariously talks about onions and how they have layers to them. The movie actively tries to show the importance of looking at people beyond what you see on the surface. In another conversation with Donkey, Shrek talks about how when everyone sees him, all they see is a big ugly monster, and nobody ever stops to ask, is there anything below the surface? Nobody ever looks beyond their preconceived notions about him. Another theme is beauty and its effects on self-esteem. This actually opens up a dialogue around beauty standards and how the world making you feel ugly can be so damaging to your self-worth. Fiona doesn't even want to be seen at night. She actively asks, how can somebody love something so ugly? Another theme is building up walls. There's a conversation around why some of us do build these giant, big walls. We're overcompensating like Lord Farquaad. No, but seriously though, there's a conversation around how when you feel like the world rejects you, you keep people away to avoid building attachments. I personally really connected to this message. There's people I should have let in, but I didn't because I was scared of being hurt. The character arcs. The theme of building up walls actually Shrek's major change in this movie, the crux of his arc. He goes from desiring privacy and wanting to be alone, but realizes that life is better when it's filled with a person you love and some good old-fashioned friends. Fiona goes from being obsessed with how she looks and her definitions of beauty and very much just accepts herself and the situation she is in. The writers do a solid job of somewhat taking her through a positive change arc. In the beginning, it's very easy to hate her. She's demanding and occasionally rude, but by the end you realize that she's just a girl who wants to feel normal again and was scared things were not going to work out for her. Donkey is probably an annoying friend to have, but is the best friend you could ever ask for. He adds a lot of comic relief, but he surprisingly becomes the thing that helps ground Shrek and Fiona. He's a great catalyst for the change that those two go through. If he isn't around, I don't know if those two go on to face their true emotions. Lord Farquaad is also an interesting one. Very easy to hate as an antagonist, but sharp as well. That move to use Shrek was actually brilliant, and he avoids the troubles that would come if he went there himself. I will say for me, it was weird seeing an antagonist who is not actively fighting the protagonist, but it was somewhat refreshing. Also, why did they have to make him that short? I love the humor in this. It is based on subverting fairy tale tropes and cultural references. Whether it's the Matrix reference, or Shrek going full WWE on people, or Fiona finding out Prince Charming is not the one who saves her. It's all such a thrilling, fun experience. I've talked about the themes in this movie and how they add substance, but the humor makes those themes more palatable and give the movie a wider appeal. All of this is heightened by the music. It's actually good and makes sense for the movie. I'm usually not a fan of music that uses vocal type music. I'm more of a fan of using instruments that live in the background. But there wasn't a moment where I heard the music in this and it broke my immersion and I was like, this sounds off. Whether it's Robin Hood's Merry Man singing or Donkey singing at the end, this was an enjoyable musical experience. Overall, Shrek is a heartwarming and humorous story that subverts traditional fairy tale tropes and explores the theme of acceptance and self-discovery. It was an enjoyable watch. 7 out of 10.